Today we're talking housing markets, and if this one might just be the new 2008. Now, if you don't already know me, my name is Zach Satin. I'm a local real estate agent here in South Florida, providing you with the best info in the real estate game. And if you haven't already, go ahead and slam that subscribe button and ring that bell to get notified when I put out a new video every single week. So if you all have been paying attention recently, the market's been changing. There's more inventory coming up, less demand, less cash, less everything. It's obviously not just the housing market, just everything in general is going down. But how exactly is this going to affect the housing market, and is it going to be a crash like it was in 08? The first thing that we really need to look at when they look at the difference between 2022 and 2008 is that now the lenders are way more strict than they were in 08. Things just aren't the same. I can't just call up a lender, tell them I want to buy a house, and then get the loan and get the house. There's a whole process that we need to go through to really make sure that you can actually really afford that house that you want to buy. So we already know now that whoever's buying a house, they can afford it. So foreclosures are off the table. We also need to remember though that the housing market is dictated by more than just this one thing. In reality, it's dictated by supply, demand, interest rates, and the overall economy. Obviously, if there's more demand than supply, prices will go up. If there's more supply than demand, prices will go down. Simple math. But we also need to keep in mind those interest rates and the economy. Especially recently in the last couple of months, I'm sure everybody's noticed that there's been a huge spike in interest rates, going all the way up to like 6%. And then it came back down to 5%, now it's going right back up. So higher interest means less people buying, means less demand, means more supply, which means lower prices, right? But we also need to consider the state of our economy as well. In almost every aspect, we are going down. Let's look at the stock market. So it could easily be said that the housing market will follow suit. With homes sitting on the market longer, we've been seeing more sellers actually reduce their price, with 18.6% of sellers reducing the price of their home in July alone, which is 7.5% higher than the sellers that reduced their price last year in July, and double the amount of sellers that reduced their price in April. So with all of these sellers reducing the price of their home, the market must be crashing, right? Well, not really. Realistically, housing prices are more likely to cool than they are to crash. And this is due to 5 factors: low inventory, material costs, demographic, lending rule, and home equity. So for starters, we have 1, low inventory. Now, although our inventory has risen a lot in the past months, it's still way lower than before the pandemic. In fact, we're still seeing most homes going under contract within the first 2 weeks of being on the market, which shows that there is still plenty of demand out there. Next, we have material costs. The cost of materials is still on the rise. It hasn't really gone down much at all. So those new construction build costs are still going to hover around the same as they were before. So that's not really going to change at all either, which means when people are building their houses, it's just going to help the market even more. As far as demographics go, there is more people working at home now than ever, which means they need more space to work, which means they need more space in their home, which means they need a bigger house, which means now they need to go buy a bigger house, which means more demand. And then as far as lending rules go, that part is very simple. Lenders are just way more strict than they were in 08. If you want to buy a house, they are going to make sure that you can afford that house. If you can't, you're not getting that loan no matter how much you budge to get it. And then finally, home equity. All these homeowners that own these homes now are already sitting on a lot of equity. Even if the market did take a hit, it wouldn't necessarily affect them in any type of bad way. Especially considering the new lending rules, we know that these people can actually afford their houses for at least a couple years. And if they got the house during the super low interest rates that we have, that 2.5%, 2% interest rates, I mean, even if the market did take a hit, I'm sure they're going to be fine. So if we go over all of this again, the market does not look like it's crashing, but it does look like it is starting to cool down, which will be a lot better for all of our buyers out there, and you'll be able to buy in a more stable market instead of giving up your firstborn child just to get a house. And then as far as all my sellers out there go that might be watching this video, there is still a chance to get out there and finish this feast that we have going on. Inventory is still low, demand is still decent, but by 2023, I think we'll be more or less finishing up with this crazy market, so make sure you get in while you can. I will say too that while I'm fully confident that a crash is not happening and we really are just cooling down, there has been plenty of times in the past where everybody said the same thing, just as I'm saying, where it's not crashing, it's going to cool down, and it still crashes. So in the end, only time can really tell if the market will crash or if it's cooling down. Who knows? All we can really do is stick with the numbers and the statistics and just hope for the best scenario out of all of this. I really appreciate you all watching this video, and I hope it did provide some good insight for you or give you more advice on if you should sell or buy right now. And if it did, please make sure you like, subscribe, follow, whatever. If you have any other questions, please feel free to DM me here or here, and I'd be happy to help. Thanks for watching. See ya.